interested in learning about doing SUP on land, you have to get the board on fitness discs, and it creates the movement of water. I offer these classes in studio all winter, but we're going to get back started with classes here in June and put the boards on grass. And it's actually a nice compliment because the grass is super soft, easy to stand on, plus now we can use the paddles. So if you're a beginner and you're still learning how to stand up on your board, this is a perfect place to start to learn how to strength train either in your core, arms, and balance. And actually for the last 2 months, I did a lot more land training with my board and using the fitness discs. And when I went to the water, I felt a lot stronger just doing my yoga movements and even just in paddling in general. So I'm just gonna go through like a quick flow, and I'll use the paddle just to give you an idea of how the board moves and how forgiving it is. So the board really is extreme on the tilt, but what's nice is that you'll start to learn your boundary with the movements on how far you could actually go before we would tip into the water. So I'm gonna start in downward facing dog. And actually the cushions are a little bit more wobblier today just because they've been in the sun and they warm up and they get soft. So I'll start downward facing dog. And I'm just gonna work into getting into a stance. And I'm trying to do it as if I was a beginner and I need a little bit of help. And maybe I even use my paddle. So this is nice because we can use the solid ground with the paddle, dig it in, look out to the horizon, and then slow and steady. Maybe there's a little bit of movement, that's okay. And like I said, this is very forgiving. Even if you were to touch down, like I need to get off and restart, it's totally fine. So from standing, if I was to come all the way up, I'm gonna go through a flow from Tadasana, coming back through the squat, top of plank, a high push-up pose, and take a few toe dips. And we're building our arm strength, core. We'll take it back to downward dog. And then repeat that. Let's go forward, back through. Now this isn't necessarily the flow that I would use in a class. I'm just trying to give you an idea of the movement of the board and how forgiving it is. Maybe you take it right back into your downward dog. And let's go into a table pose. So really we use the center of the board, which is where the handle is our point of gravity to keep everything balanced from right to left. I'm going to show a modified side plank where we kind of inch into these postures. Even if we were in the water, you might take it a little bit slower than you would in studio on your mat, but we want to position our hand, our knee, and our back foot enough to balance out the board right through the center line. Maybe you stretch it out, open up the heart, lean back into it, feel the breeze, maybe a little lift of the leg, just see where you're at. Maybe you come back through, take a few cat cows.
stand-up paddleboard yoga here in Sylvan Lake, Michigan. Thanks.